Hey guys, welcome to episode 16 of Z's Comics Reviews. We actually have pretty much nothing but reviews. There's actually been a few things in the news, but dude, we just have so much stuff to get through today. Stories this week have been great, have been amazing.
Yes.
So let's start off with Wolverine's Revenge #1. Thunder, you ready? Let's go. Regale us.
It is very nice. It is very nice. Like, I will admit, like, it sounds strange, but it's definitely the beginning and the end are what got me to be like, okay, I'm in. The middle is kind of like a little bit of a lull, but the beginning, I mean, got Wolverine riding a Triceratops. He's riding a Triceratops.
What? Okay, hang on. So Savage Land shenanigans, or just he randomly finds a Triceratops?
Yes, no, he's in the Savage Lands, the Savage Lands.
Savage.
Yes. Because at the beginning of this, there's like a little voiceover. You don't really find out who's doing the voiceover, but for like 1 or 2 pages, this is like taking place after the asteroid M asteroid just boom hits Earth and just kind of like messes everything up. Okay. So he's on the Savage Land, riding a Triceratops, ends up fighting a T-Rex, and then during that fight, the fight is kind of cut short. He gets kind of sad because he's like, oh, I was doing my thing, but some people interfere, which turns out to be Nick Fury and some of his, and like the other members of the surviving team. But they came in and Wolverine's like, what the heck, bro? You interrupted me in my thing. I was letting loose. And Fury's just like, hey, we got some stuff to do, so come on.
Now, is it Hasselhoff Fury or it's Hasselhoff?
It's Hasselhoff.
Oh my god! So this takes place in the past. Okay, yes, Hasselhoff Fury is back in the game. Okay, cool.
So Hasselhoff Fury's there, you know, gets them together. It's a team of Cap, Bucky, Dum Dum, and there was another guy there, but all for intents and purposes, especially because of something that happens, I'm just gonna call him Red Shirt. Yep, he's Red Shirt.
He got red shirted.
You know?
Okay.
So there's that team, and they're just like, okay, look, this thing. Oh, one joke they put him on is because Nick Fury does the whole like, yes, we need you, Wolverine. We're recruiting you. You know, your like country needs you. America needs you. And he's Wolverine does his thing of like, I'm Canadian, bro. But that's when we find out Asteroid M actually pretty much struck Canada. So there's like no Canada.
Oh dang.
Fury's all like, so yeah, there's like, Fury straight up tells him, he's like, it's not really a Canada anymore, bro. So like, kind of figured, your second country, come on, before your second country goes down.
I got you.
And so they go to this place, like, they end up finding out, like, okay, there's this device that could hopefully, help bring back like civilization and stuff like that. And boom, we need y'all to go to this location. We're gonna drop you here, and you're gonna find this device. This little thing there. I won't go into any more details there because they run into some people, some stuff happens, like stuff kind of goes haywire.
Of course, you make the plan, you execute the plan goes off the rails, throw the plan out the window.
Now, it's not going to be, I'm not going to say who because I don't know how much solicitation stuff has been said, but...
solicitations for this series just said he's going up against like some of his big bads, Deadpool, Omega Red, Sabretooth, and like one other person that they didn't say.
Okay, yes.
That was in the solicitations, but we don't know which issue they're popping up in. That's the thing.
They pop up. They pop up.
They pop up? Okay.
His usual rogues pop up at the end of this because it really floods into his... It like really floods into his reason why. The ending of this really gives you the reason why it's called Revenge. Because some stuff happens.
Right.
Oh my goodness. And then the mystery character, I won't say who, I'm just gonna say like my heart, bro. My heart. When you find out who it is, my heart.
Dang it, I might just take this last one home.
Yes.
So bottom line of Forest Thunder, what is this?
I'm going to give it a solid 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
The only reason why it's not a 5 out of 5 is just because that little middle part there where they're like doing all the explanation, it is kind of like, oh, okay.
You feel like they could have world built while they were doing stuff?
Exactly, while they were doing stuff.
Like soliloquies or like thought bubbles or something?
Like something there.
All right.
But the ending is just straight up like, oh, dang.
Okay.
It was, I will I will say it just like you did in the past video. It is like a Hulk moment. The ending there gets you them 3 oh dangs. You're like, oh wow, dang. Dang.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm probably gonna take this one.
It's off to a good start, especially since I think this is only like a 4 or 5 issue run.
I think it might be a 4 or 5 issue run.
Yeah, so
maybe 6. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that I was able to order 3, put 3 on my initial orders.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got 3 of them coming regular, and just so you guys know, this one also has a red band that we actually sold out before we could actually review them. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But also, like, we can't tell you what the difference is in the red bands, but you know, this one does have a red band. All right, so moving on to Witchblade issue 2. If you remember our Witchblade 1, I think we gave it a 4 out of 5, almost 5 out of 5, I think. Witchblade number 2. It kind of pumps the brakes a little bit, but that is not a bad thing. It is world building for a new series of the Witchblade. If you know anything about Witchblade, you know that it had a massive run from Top Cow, I think mixed up with Dark Horse, I think, previously, like years and years ago, and has enough to fill like 2 or 3 compendiums worth. But this is a brand new storyline. So this one, like I said, it pumps the brakes, but it helps build the world out, helps flesh out some internal monologue, all kinds of stuff like that. Sarah's facing an existential crisis. How much of her is still her after the Witchblade amulet is like just stuck on her, and she starts noticing different things. She can smell where the rain evaporated from. She can feel where soil has been. She's just enhanced in every possible way, including her desires. So she is hungry all the time. She needs to be on the move all the time. The 3 Fs come into play. If you don't know the 3 Fs, I'm just going to leave that last one as canoodling. But yeah, it's she has not been able to take full control over the Witchblade, and it plays out in a pretty predictable way towards the end of this issue. The artwork still great. The clandestine, shadowy movements of some of the characters that are not yet named but shown make this I really am intrigued by where this world building is going. I'm sticking with this series.
Okay.
Much like Space Ghost.
Space Ghost.
Yeah. Y'all guys know how much I love Space Ghost. This one, it's good. It is a solid. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, just because of how much they slowed it down. Okay. The artwork still top notch. The storyline is great, but like I said several times, they did pump the brakes, and there's only really 1, maybe 2 instances of action in here, and the rest is just world building, but not really solid world building. They're building it on shifting sands, pretty much. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'm excited to see where it goes. Yes. I highly recommend picking it up. This is the positive side of the 3 out of 5 for me. Okay. So yeah, but yeah, definitely recommending it. Giving it a solid 3 out of 5. Damn good second issue. Moving on to Ultimate Spider-Man number 8.
Ultimate Spider-Man.
So normally Thunder is the only one that reads Ultimate Spider-Man, because I just want to collect the trade paperbacks and just read them. But I saw some previews online. So all right, we're going to talk about this. All right, we're going to talk about this. Okay. This one, Ultimate Spider-Man number 8, we are doing spoilers for. All right, we will do spoilers for. So I'm going to give y'all guys 5 seconds to just jump ahead. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Anything after this is a spoiler. Okay, Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. So in Ultimate Spider-Man number 7, Iron Man comes back and talks to Peter, talks to Harry, and he's like, "Bro, who are you under there?" And Harry just, in typical Harry Osborn fashion, no matter what universe, he's like, "You can't make me. It's Stark Tech. Yes, Tony Stark can make you do anything if you're wearing Stark Tech." Okay. But the whole thing starts off with Peter and MJ preparing for their kid's birthday party, and a very creepy Hal kind of interaction takes place between Peter and his Pico suit.
His AI suit, which is modeled after himself, like I was saying in the last one, which I'm loving.
Yeah. So like Peter's AI is Peter's brain pattern himself, and now it is talking to him when he's not wearing it.
Yes.
Which in itself kind of creepy. But here's the weird part. Like I said, it gave off very HAL vibes. If you don't know what HAL is, look up 2001 Space Odyssey, exactly, where the supercomputer goes a little bit crazy. But it goes further, because the way that this is played out, I'm getting Venom vibes.
Really? Thinking this gonna be
I'm thinking that this is gonna be the new ultimate version of Venom. Just because of how he's talking to him and how focused that the AI Pico suit is on the family.
This is true, yeah.
And if you know anything about Venom's original origins, he loved Peter so much.
They're going back to that in the Venom one.
Yeah, he became obsessed with Peter. But in the Ultimate Universe, what if Peter's AI obsession becomes the family, and he wants to get main Peter out of the way? You know what I mean? That could lead to like Ultimate Venom vibes.
Very
twisty twists, right? What do you think? What do you think?
That could be.
Yeah.
I'm especially since you do get the fact that when they talk to him, when they talk to Tony is like, I don't know about your suit, Peter.
Yeah.
Like, this is the last thing my dad made, and he even admits, he's like, he was light years ahead of what I'm capable of understanding. So and even Tony's like, this suit of yours, I can't really answer questions about it. It's crazy.
The funny thing is, when Iron Man is talking to them and explaining why Pete got the super amazing suit, he's like, he was just at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And
top of the maker's list.
The top of the maker's list to not be a superhero, to not be a superpowered person. Well, Harry's been infiltrating the maker's mainframes for X amount of time, and he's never seen this list. But Tony has. Howard has. And for some reason, the maker, the original Ultimate Universe, Mr. Fantastic, made it a mission to not let Peter become Spider-Man.
Become who he is supposed to be.
Exactly. So, like, him being at the top of the like number one, don't let this guy, is why Iron Man decided, you know what, he's probably gonna he's at the top of the list, the first one on the maker's mind, he should probably have the best of the best. So that's pretty cool. And then the rest of the issue is just world building. Set up for the new story arc, which introduces the Ultimate Universe
Sinister Six.
Ultimate Universe version of Sinister Six. You got the older Black Cat.
Older Black Cat, who's in Mayo right now. Who is a Mayo right now?
Well, no, the original Black Cat was Felicia Hardy's dad. And then now, you know, I forget his first name, but, you know, the Elder Hardy, the guy, he's part of the Sinister. They don't even call themselves Sinister Six.
Yeah.
The Kingpin owns all of, you know, New York, and he has divided it
into 6 different sections.
Exactly.
So like, you know, like head of the table.
You got the Black Cat. You got Martin Lee's Mr. Negative. You got Craven. You have
Mysterio.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Mysterio, who nobody knows anything about except Black Cat just tells him, "Weren't you taller last time?" And then if you notice in the panel, he gets taller. Yeah. So yeah, it's a little bit crazy in there. And then you got Mole Man and what was it? I think this is the first comic appearance of James Wesley from the Daredevil Netflix series. So yeah, if you haven't figured out to pick this one up yet, I think you should pick this one up just because, dude, it's a blue key for experience of James Wesley. But yeah, it's a very good world building. You get some little hints in, you know, the Parker's lives, and dude, you just get Spider-Man being, you know, having a real smile, man. Not just like
that's
not just getting
the
beat
best
up.
Part about this run, like he is finally able to be happy.
Like he gets his moments. All right.
One thing that I did like too, I don't know if you noticed it, but in the panel where they're like wishing his son and daughter happy birthday, if you look at the back on the arcade machine, the first letter of the name is like covered, but it is Ecrit Wars.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it. I noticed the arcade and Stan's Easter eggs though outside. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I like those. I always love it when they acknowledge Stanley.
Pretty
Okay,
nice.
so that about does it for our Ultimate Spider-Man number 8.
I'm loving it.
We're
loving it.
done with the spoilers. Okay, we're right here done with the spoilers. Promise. Moving on to something crawled out. Okay,
We don't know if this something is the same something that is killing the children. So
different universes because something is killing the children is Boom, and this is Vault. Okay.
couldn't just let it.
No. I'm sorry. I can't. So then we'd be liars.
I'm not saying. I didn't say it was. I just said it may be.
No.
You couldn't just let it.
But I know it's not. But anyway, something crawled out. Something crawled out. Number 1, new series from Vault Comics. Really good. Man, I can't. Art is great. I mean, it's very clean. It reminds me of Dead at 17 artwork, but a little bit more cleaned up, a little bit more like solid. The art is great. It follows this girl named Eddie, and something is happening in her town. Women are disappearing, young girls are disappearing, and now her sister may or may not have disappeared. You don't find out even at the end of the issue where her sister is, but it gives you typical like the start of a horror movie. Like it feels very run of the mill kind of thing, and then you have the end of Act 1 where bam, the whole world changes with one strange act, right? Yeah, that's how it plays out in this one. Good world building, good character building. According to the synopsis, her friend may or may not be Satan. And I gotta say, I don't know whether or not he is.
Is it Satan or Satine?
No, Satan.
Okay.
Like she believes that her friend is the devil.
Wow.
Like her memories of when they were children have him saying stuff and her just like being compelled to do it. But you don't know if she's an unreliable narrator or if she's just like dude might be the devil kind of thing. But yeah, it's dude, I cannot explain well about this storyline because it's first off, like I said, the character building, the world building is fantastic. I think you get a sense of creepiness, eeriness, I guess, throughout the whole thing about her town.
Yes.
And then in that last act of the first issue, dude, stuff hits the fan. Okay, stuff hits the fan. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens, but the cliffhanger, just phenomenal. Okay, the cliffhanger just makes things just elevate to a very, very creepy vibe, and I am ready for issue 2. Okay, so I'm straight up giving this a 5 out of 5. I'm straight up giving it a 5 out of 5. Like, it's just good. Okay, now there's some weird stuff. I don't know if this takes place in modern day or like back in the past, which to us back in the past is like 2005. But
has been a while.
Chick has a Nokia. Okay,
Nokia.
So now she has
Nokias are real nasty.
Yo, yeah, she puts that in one of those trebuchets and bam, just like brains somebody, and she's good.
They know the ways of the samurai.
All right, moving on. I think that might be a little bit offensive. But,
I was doing Transformers. You don't remember that? He gets the Nokia.
Nokia
snap!
Yeah.
In the first movie, and the girl's all like, "Nokia's from Finland," and then the secretary is just like, "Yeah, but he's strange."
Okay, all right. So moving on to Predator versus Black Panther number 1. I don't know how to describe this one either, but in a very different way. This one, it starts off with the Predator side.
Okay.
It takes place in their home galaxy and is telling the story of one of the clan's potential leaders, right? There's 2 brothers in the Yakuza clan, and they are trying to vie for control of the clan. One of them the weaker of the brothers was born without a leg, born kind of like on the shrimpy side, and you know, predators, you know, the strongest, strong, you know, strength equals everything. You saw that, right? That was weird. Yeah, but anyway.
Hang on.
But anyway, so it just comes out.
My dad.
It comes out that at some point the Yautja had already invaded.
I'll be back.
Had already invaded Earth. Went on a hunt. Went to Wakanda and somehow obtained a spear, a vibranium spear. So it's all that backstory, and then it switches to the Black Panther storyline, and he's doing his whole thing. They're showing how Shuri is trying to convince T'Challa to open the borders. So this is a different universe where they're just, you know, isolated by themselves, right?
Oh, that's my decision.
And
I would have gotten a 5 or 6.
then it switches back and forth between the two storylines, but at the end of it, it culminates into one where the conflict comes into play. The Yautja, the weaker Yautja, wants the vibranium because he believes that he's going to be able to like take over the family, take over the clan. And you know, this is all in the solicitation, so it's not really
Scar and Simba. Scar Mufasa stuff going on here.
I'm not entirely sure because I think I'm with the smaller brother on this, the one that's missing a leg.
Nice.
Because he went out, he augmented himself and all that stuff. So it's really good. I like the artwork is amazing. It's a decent start. I think this one was kind of slow just to lay the groundwork for the entire series. I'm hoping that's how it is anyway, because after this,
I don't know, the Predator Wolverine one kind of hit the ground running. Like the first issue for that one, I actually read that one, and that one it kind of hit the ground running. Yeah. There wasn't as much like world building on this. It was all from like Wolverine's narration perspective too.
Okay.
So there wasn't really any insight into Predator stuff on their land, so it is kind of interesting that you're saying, hey, it starts off.
Yeah, it starts off like there's actual conflict. There's a storyline here, and I don't know if they're gonna just like, okay, the storyline is in, you know, issue 1, and then we're just gonna have a bunch of fighting for the middle issues, and then just finish up the storyline later.
That's interesting.
I think it would work if they did that.
Yeah, because like other than really from what I remember, other than just the fact of like, oh, Wolverine was like, okay, yes, I met this guy, I met this Predator once. Straight up kicks his butt first meeting, and then the Predator just finds out, oh well, I thought I killed him, but no, this dude came back. Oh, this is a great hunt. Other than that, of like,
I still need to read that, man.
Other than like through the years of like, oh, okay, he's come back steadily again because like I'm the greatest prize. Like I keep coming back. He wants to find a way to put me down. Other than that, there wasn't really like much of a straight up story to it.
Okay.
So it was kind of interesting.
So this one might be a little bit different just because of that.
That's what I was kind of hoping for that. I was like, I hope they're not just doing like, oh, Predator Wolverine worked out. Let's just do Predator
just swap them out.
Whoever.
Nah. From what it sounds like, they're actually making a storyline in this one. So I'm hopeful. I give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, nice.
I give it a 3 out of 5. Solid world building. I want to see where it goes. Not enough action. Not enough action.
Yet.
I will say yet.
Yeah.
All right. Towards the end, there's some action. So, somebody bites the dust. I won't tell you who, but yeah, little
gets
teaser. No. So nobody gets predator.
They get panthered. They get mauled.
No. There's an explosion.
Oh, explosion.
May or may not have been caused by. I'm not even tell you what it's caused by.
Okay. But
yeah, solid 3 out of 5. I'm excited to see where it's going. Last up, we got Jenny Sparks, number 1. DC Black Label. Why is there censorship in a DC Black Label?
Bro, I tell ever since the freaking Batwing, like they've been getting on it.
No. We get Black Label stuff, and they say the F word. They drop language, right? Everything in here is censored with the expletive. Yeah, expletive deleted. It's a Black Label for a friggin' reason. All right, it's a Black Label. Say the word, okay? Say the word. Yes. No, bottom left, right here.
Okay.
Look,
It's
DC
there.
Black Label, right there, right there.
It is there.
Friggin' cuss, all right? If we can keep things PG-13 with one F-bomb, you can drop an F-bomb in a Black Label, okay? That's rated R. That's DC rated R.
Yes.
So, okay, that's my last gripe about it. I'm hooked.
Woo.
I am hooked.
He's in.
All right? The artwork is clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's solid. It's very bright and shiny, which is weird because the content in there is not.
Oh.
All right? So it puts it under like this whole like vibrant look, but it's dude, it is violent. It is violent.
You were kind of telling me that this is like,
So-
if a superhero in the DC universe goes, like, starts to go bad, starts to go rogue.
mhm.
Jenny,
Yeah, like
is
Jenny
the-
gets called in. Well, that's what happens.
She's
So
like the
you
John
don't-
Wickish, that whole
Almost.
the aspect of like, if you send someone to kill the boogeyman, you send this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm not gonna lie. Some parts of this issue are a little confusing. It is a little less so confusing towards the end, but it's still a bit confusing.
Okay.
So, I think that a lot of the story is taking place in different points in time.
All right.
Okay. But it's not telling you it's taking place in different points in
there's
time. So
no
that's
time
why it's
jump or
that's why
anything.
it's a little confusing. But I think it works. It is also a little annoying. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it is always annoying whenever you're like kind of got to figure out yourself. Like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm at a
I
different
mean,
point this time.
I mean, it's almost as bad as watching Man of Steel, and then all of a sudden Zack Snyder takes you back to Smallville when he's 10, but doesn't tell you, oh hey, we went back in time to when he's 10.
No, I mean, you see him obviously younger. You know what? We could get into
Like
a lot of stuff.
we're
We could get into
gonna.
a bigger discussion there.
We'll
Man of
talk
Steel,
about that
but just-
later, okay?
just go-
Different
go back
video.
to comments here.
But yeah, Jenny Sparks #1. Like I said, a little confusing. I'm pretty sure it's bouncing back and forth between time, and you don't find out until later on. And this is in the solicitation. She's immortal. She
I mean, she's always got that spark.
apparently she is the spirit of the 20th century. I don't know if that's real or not, but it's what they say in the comic.
But we out of the 20th century.
I know. So I guess that's why they, quietly put her out to pasture, and she's just, living it up in London.
Or well, Disco evidently never dies, and she could be like Disco,
Maybe.
spirit of the 20th century.
Maybe. I would think Punk, because,
Punk is
the Union
coming
Jack.
around, yeah.
But her character hasn't been seen since around 2000. Okay, where she famously died in the 1999, early 2000 comic book. I want to say The Authority. That's actually her very first appearance in The Authority.
Yes.
And she hasn't been seen for that long until now. And apparently something happens with Captain Atom. And
That always happens with that man.
dude, that guy can't just keep his powers together. Just put him out the pasture, okay?
Even at Flashpoint, the
just
dude was
lame.
the bomb. The dude was the bomb.
Captain Atom is just lame. Tell me an interesting storyline with Captain Atom.
I only really know him for the Flashpoint thing, where
Exactly.
he was literally the bomb.
All right, we're getting way off topic again. All right, so Jenny Sparks, like I said, confusing, but when you actually get to the Jenny Sparks portion of it, turns out the Trinity is at a loss because Captain Atom is gone off grid. They don't know where he is. They're looking for him. They got Superman looking for him. Wonder Woman is back at home, like being on standby. Maybe she needs to, stay in reserves to make sure, whatever happens. I don't know. It's confusing. Batman just randomly shows up in Jenny's apartment. And this is in the previews and everything that you find online.
Man always be showing up in people's sleep.
He does, man. He has no boundaries. And she actually calls him out on it. And not only that, she puts him in his place.
Ooh.
So Jenny don't take nothing from nobody, all right? Least of all, Bruce. She knows who he is.
Oh,
Yeah.
name dropped him.
She don't even call him Batman. She just calls him straight up
Ooh,
Bruce.
the disrespect.
Right? And she tells him to go back to Gotham and play with his little buddies. And tell Clark to just, go home.
Oh.
And tell Diana to just, sit back on the beach. She's got real work to do. She puts all the children in their place. And dude, she does it. She does the work. She goes where she needs to. And she's just like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. All right, I'm just gonna stop this dude.
Jenny, don't play that.
Jenny don't play that. All right, and you know that her attitude towards all the other heroes is why I'm just like really behind this comic, because it's refreshing.
Yeah.
No other hero or no other superpower person just like straight up looks Batman in the eye and says, "Dude, just get the hell out of here. Just go over there."
Keeping her pimping
Oh
strong.
yeah, dude. Like, and she even told him, "We're going to talk about how you just broke into my apartment." But yeah, I think it's a solid.
She was doing that. She was doing that like when you've seen those videos where they're like, "Oh, what do you do if I came in? If you see me like come in and like it's like a horror movie person and they straight up slam the door and it's all the comment. You get all the comments like, I don't know who you are, but you don't be paying no bills here to be slamming my doors like that."
That's the vibe she gave off when talking to Batman. She's like, "I ain't got no time for you."
It's like, I don't know who you think you are, but you don't be paying the bills here. You
Exactly.
be coming into my house.
Exactly.
Nice.
So yeah, like that's the vibe she gave off, and like by the end of the issue, you're just like, dude, I want to read more about this. Read more about Jenny Sparks. Now I got to go and find the Authority comics because I'm behind this. I want to know more. All right. But yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay, that's
solid start. There's a lot of world building. The only reason that's not a 5 out of 5 is because it's confusing. The place in the timeline, and yes, by the end of it, you do find out that not time travel, but the view of time is skewed, and that is what makes it slightly less confusing. But the answer is confusing in its own. So yeah, so Jenny Sparks #1, 4 out of 5. A little confusing. That's why it's not a 5 out of 5. That about does it for our reviews. Were we going to talk about anything else?
I mean, there is the Nightwing comic that came out, which does say, you know, everyone was talking about how Batman's going to be Nightwing. Batman was Nightwing for that time. Batman does tell Dick when he comes back, he made 2 quips. 2 quips. Wow.
What were they good? Did they?
They don't
show.
say it.
They don't show it.
They don't say it.
God.
It's just him talking with Dick, and he's all like, Dick's asking him like, "Oh, how'd you do?" While you were pretending to be me, which Dick does get really like amazed when he does that because he's talking to Barbara for a little bit, and Barbara's like, "All right, I'll let Nightwing 2 know, like the lead that you have for us." And he's like, "Wait a minute, what? Nightwing 2?" And it says it was like a good month that he was running around as Dick, as Nightwing. And yeah, he's like telling, like Dick asked him, he's like, "How was it? How'd you do?" And he's all like, "Oh, it was okay." He's like, "The suit is pretty snug." And he's like, "And I made 2 quips." And as soon as he says that, he's just like, "Nice." But yeah,
all right.
like it's good.
I want to. Dude, I want a comic for that month of him.
They really
I want a
should,
comic
yes.
of that. Oh my
like,
god!
It wasn't just a like, oh, Batman ran around as Nightwing for like a week. Like, no, it was a good
it's been a month?
amount. It was like a good significant amount of time.
We need a miniseries.
Even if it wasn't a month, like it was still like a time period where you're like, okay, stuff could happen in that time.
Yeah.
Like he did stuff, you know.
Okay.
So it's good, and I'm really liking the way the Nightwing issue looks. This Nightwing story seems like to be coming to a close. Like,
okay.
The 5th issue definitely gonna be great. This was the first issue of Nightwing. I'm happy where there wasn't a preview, like 5 pages of previews.
Where 5 pages didn't
comic.
take up content.
Yes, I got the whole content, and I'm like, bro, yes. Especially that ending. Like the ending to this one is kind of like, okay. They throw a little twist on Nightwing's backstory there.
Okay.
And it's pretty good. I'm loving it.
I think the like, what is it, that cliffhanger is why they push it back